Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna. So I'll share my screen. So today we'll be starting with Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and today we'll start with the first verse of Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I'll share my screen. Okay. So I hope everyone can see the screen. So first chapter is titled The Spiritual Masters. So we'll start with the first shloka. Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan Isham Ishavatarkam Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Samgyakam Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan Isham Ishavatarkam Tat Prakasam Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Samgyakam. Would you like to chant? Okay. Madha.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan
Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan
Isham Ishavatarkan
Isham Ishavatarakan
Tat Prakasam Tat Shakti
Tat Prakasham Tak Chakti
Krishna Chaitanya Samgyakam.
Krishna Chaitanya Samyakam. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Akshat.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan
Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan
Isham Ishavatarakan
Isham Ishavatarakan
Tat Prakasam Tat Shakti
Tad Prakasam Takshakti
Krishna Chaitanya Samgyakam.
Krishna Chaitanya Samgyakam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Aksharam. Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan
Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan
Isham Ishavatarakan
Isham Ishavatarakan
Tat Prakasam Tat Shakti
Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti
Krishna Chaitanya Samgyakam.
Krishna Chaitanya Samyanakam.
Okay. Is that Venupriya Mataji?
Hare Krishna.
Navneet?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan
Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan
Isham Ishavatarakan
Isham Ishavatarakan
Tat Prakasam Tat Shakti
Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti
Krishna Chaitanya Samgyakam.
Krishna Chaitanya Samyakam.
Okay,
Hare
thank
Krishna.
you. So, thank you for reading. So, we'll start off a little bit about how the Adi Lila, how is Adi Lila actually, the flow of Adi Lila. So, first 14 verses of the first chapter, they are the verses of Mangalacharan. When we start like any kind of katha or hear Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, before starting Chaitanya Charitamrita, he is offering 14 verses of Mangalacharan prayers. So, and each one of these verses are actually explained. So, verse number 1 and 2 of the Mangalacharan will be explained in the first chapter, and then further, if you actually go, verse number first 2 in the first chapter, and then he talks of the internal reason, the external reasons of Mahaprabhu's appearance, that will be verse number 4. Then internal reasons, that's verse number 5 and 6. And then from text number 7 to 11 is Mangalacharan verses where he is glorifying Lord Nityananda Prabhu. That is chapter number 5. So in that way, if you see these first 14 verses of Mangalacharan, they have been explained in the first 7 chapters of the Adi Lila. So he writes 14 verses of Mangalacharan, then he explains each one of these verses in 7 chapters. Right? So that's basically the Mangalacharan. Now, when we talk of Mangalacharan, like we often use this word Mangalacharan, what does Mangalacharan mean? So, a Mangalacharan is actually defines three main objectives, or there are three components of a Mangalacharan. First is Namaskar. When anyone is starting, as I mentioned in Katha or here, Krishna's Kaviraj Gopal is starting Chaitanya, first he is going to offer obeisances, right? Namaskar. So the first verse and the second verse are aspects of offering obeisances, right? Now we'll discuss like how the first verse is actually offering obeisances. So the Mangalacharan, the first component is Namaskar. Second component is Vastu Nirdesha. Vastu Nirdesha means what is the objective of the book. So now Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is writing this book. He's offered obeisances. Now he's defining, so Mangalacharan should define what is the objective of this whole book. So just by reading the Mangalacharan prayers, one should get an insight what is this book all about. So second is Vastu Nirdesh. And third is Ashirvad. Ashirvad means invoking the blessings of the Lord, right? Invoking the blessings of the Lord. And we'll see this in text number 4, where he actually invokes the blessings of the Lord to all the readers of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So just by us reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is saying, oh Lord, please, be manifested in the core of the heart of all the readers of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? So any Mangalacharan, it has these three components, right? So Namaskar, Vastu Nirdesha, Ashirvad. Okay. Now we'll come to the first verse. First verse, he is offering Namaskar, obeisances. So who is he offering obeisances? So if you say one day, so same verse. So if you see each one of these first 14 verses, they are going to repeat, at different places in the first 7 chapters, and he's going to elaborate on each one of these. So the same verse is there in text number 34 of the same chapter. So I'm going to move to that verse because that Prabhupada explains the same verse, right? So here, the exact same verse on text 34. So one day is offering obeisances. Now who is he offering obeisances to? Gurun. Now why does it say Gurun and not Guru? Because he is offering obeisances to spiritual masters. Gurun is plural. He's offering obeisances to spiritual masters. Now one may say, why is he saying spiritual masters? Now, for Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami himself, his spiritual masters, one way, is Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. Both of them are actually, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami can be considered a direct disciple of both Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. Both of them are, of the 6 Goswamis. Now, and right. So he's offering obeisances here in plural to both the direct disciple of Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. Right? Now, further, the Gurun, that's for Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, but for us here, actually the word Gurun has been explained as we offer obeisances to whom? When we say many Gurus, it refers to both Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru, right? The Diksha Guru is the initiating spiritual master, and Shiksha Guru is the instructing spiritual master. So in this first chapter, a very nice section further in the first chapter, where Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, he explains who is a Diksha Guru, who is a Shiksha Guru. Now both of them, the Shiksha Guru and the Diksha Guru. So who is a Diksha Guru? The one who actually initiates a disciple, and by initiation means he is going to give a mantra. He is actually giving. So even in ISKCON society, when there's initiation, by the mercy of Mahaprabhu, the disciple may previously chant the Hare Krishna, but now he is formally receiving the Maha Mantra from the spiritual master. So the chanting process, now being blessed or being empowered by a guru, becomes even more powerful. Right? So one who actually initiates with the Maha Mantra is actually the Diksha Guru. Now who is Shiksha Guru? Shiksha Guru, there can be only one Diksha Guru. So every disciple, one Diksha, but he can have many Shiksha Gurus. Right? So instructing spiritual masters. So anyone who, devotees who give instructions how to progress in Krishna consciousness, that is actually a Shiksha Guru. Right? Now, both of them, Chaitanya makes a point, both of them are identical manifestations of Krishna. So, though both of them may deal with the disciple differently, but both of them should be seen. From the disciple point of view, he should give the same respect to the Shiksha Guru as he gives to the Diksha Guru. Right? And then Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami explains that Diksha Guru, he actually says, is actually Yadyapi Amara Guru Chaitanyera Das. So one is the Diksha Guru is certainly a servant of Krishna. He is a bona fide representative of Krishna. He is a servant of Krishna, and also Tathapi Janiye Ami Tanhara Prakasha. He is also a plenary manifestation of the Lord. That means he is an expansion of the Lord. So a spiritual master is not only a servant of the Lord, but he is empowered by the Lord to actually initiate, conditioned souls into the bhakti process, right? So he is empowered by the Lord. He is one way prakash or plenary manifestation of the Lord. That is a Diksha Guru. And in this, Krishna Kaviraj Goswami quotes a verse from the 11th canto, which actually Krishna himself says that an Acharya Mam Vijaniya, an Acharya is one way non-different from me because he's giving me. So whatever he speaks, he is actually speaking. He is a direct manifestation of me. Alright? So that's the Diksha Guru. Now what was Shiksha Guru? So again, going back, we are offering one day Gurun and we are discussing about Gurun. Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru. Now, so Prabhupada makes a point in the purport here. He says, the Guru who first initiates one with the Mahamantra is known as Initiator Guru, Diksha Guru. And saints who give instructions for progressive advancement in Krishna consciousness are called instructing spiritual masters. And here he says, the initiating and the instructing spiritual masters are identical manifestation of Krishna, although they have different dealings. Right? So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, I mentioned earlier, Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Goswami were his Diksha, one way, his direct disciple of them. But he also accepted Nityananda Prabhu and the 6 Goswamis as his Shiksha Gurus. Right? So, both. So, then how is a Shiksha Guru defined? And Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says, like, the Lord is manifested in the heart of every living entity as Paramatma. Now, this Paramatma, he guides the conditioned soul from within as Chaitya Guru. And that Paramatma who manifests himself externally, that personality is a Shiksha Guru. So the super soul, the Chaitya Guru, is giving instructions from within. And, in this Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami quotes Bhagavad Gita 10.10, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. One who worships me with devotion, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Right? Who worships them. Then Krishna says, I give the intelligence to a person, how to come back to me. So there's Paramatma in the heart, and that Paramatma manifests externally as the Shiksha Guru, right? So this is Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. So, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami starts off by offering obeisances to his spiritual masters, both Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. Okay. So I hope that first part of this verse is okay. Right? So one day Gurun, right? So both. Next he says Isha Bhaktan. Isha Bhaktan referring the devotees of the Lord. So after offering obeisances to spiritual master, Krishna's Goswami is actually offering obeisances to the devotees of the Lord. Now, in devotees of the Lord, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami explains that what is the benefit of associating with the devotees? And then he explains, what do devotees do? They actually cut off our attachments with this material world. Those attachments which are actually holding us down in bhakti, just by the association of devotees, that attachment is cut off. And next, what does association of devotees gives? And then Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami quotes a famous verse from 3rd canto, 325-25. Satam prasanga mama virya samhido bhavati rit karna rasayana karna tad joshad asu apavarga vartami shraddha bhaktir rati anukramishati. Then basically that verse says that just by satam prasanga, by associating with devotees, what will happen? we will progress, and we have to hear, right? We have to hear from the devotees. The best way to associate with devotee is to hear from it. So by hearing from those devotees, then our bhakti, right? Satam prasanga mama virasana bhavanti rit karna from a year. Rasayana katha tad joshvar asu apavarga vart means shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramashi. So starting from shraddha all the way to rati, that means attachment, all the way to bhakti. So all those 9 steps in bhakti, starting from shraddha to prem, all that can be achieved only by associating with devotees. Therefore, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami first offers obeisance Guru, next to the devotees of the Lord. Now here also further, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says there are 2 kinds. One is those who are can everyone hear me okay? Just 1 minute.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah? Okay. 1 minute. Okay. So I'll go back to my share screen. Okay. So I was making the point that the 2 kinds of devotees here Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami said, and one is the devotees who are personal associates of the Lord, who are eternal Nitya Siddha devotees, right? And the others are sadhakas who are here in this material world, but they are actually practicing bhakti and they are, progressing in the spiritual life. So both of these devotees, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami categorizes them as pure devotees because those who are even practicing sadhaka, who are seriously progressing in bhakti, we can take their association and then by that progress in bhakti, right? So Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan. So second category, he is offering obeisances to the devotees. Now Isha means the Lord himself. So we'll come back to this. Who is Isha? And he concludes in the last line. Krishna Chaitanya Samagam. That Lord Shri Krishna himself, Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Isha. Okay, so we'll end with that point because it comes in line 4. So Vande Gurun, Isha Bhaktan. So 2 categories, I hope everyone got it. Third is Isha Avatarakam. He is here offering obeisances to different avatars, the incarnations of the Lord. Like who? Well, there is the Amsha. There are so many categories of incarnation. There is Leela avatar, there is Purusha avatar, there is Guna avatar, there is Shaktavesh avatar, there is Amsha avatar. So many different categories of incarnations are there. And in that way, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is offering obeisances to all the incarnation of the Lord. So here, he personally is offering obeisance to Advaita Acharya by saying Isha avatar because he is the avatar of the Lord, right? When you see the Panchatattva, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita. Advaita is the avatar, right? So one way for us, we are offering obeisance to all the incarnations of the Lord. That is category 3. Fourth, Tat Prakashams. Tat Prakashams is the expansions of the Lord, and particularly here, he's saying how Lord Krishna, when he actually manifests, like let's say he gives an example of like Ras Leela. When there was a Ras Leela going on, Krishna himself extended into 16,108 forms. Or when you say that Krishna in Dwarka, he has 16,108 palaces, 16,108 queens, and he himself expanded into 16,108 forms. And all those forms were identical to Krishna. So that is Prakashams, expansion. And there is also other forms which are slightly different, like Krishna expands as Balram. Now the form is slightly different, but still he is a direct expansion. So Tat Prakashams includes both. One who looks exactly like Krishna, that is Prakasha Vigraha, and the other is who has slightly different form than Krishna, that is a Vilas Vigraha. I know it's a little bit technical words I'm using here, but afterwards if you have questions, please stop me, right? So 4 we have covered. Offer obeisance spiritual master, Diksha Siksha Guru, Isha Bhakta, offer obeisance devotees of the Lord, right? And in that we discussed there are those who are eternal Nitya Siddha devotees and those who are sadhakas. We offer obeisance both. Then Isha Avatar, incarnations, and Advaita Acharya, other incarnations. Tat Prakashams is direct expansions of the Lord, And in that we discussed there are two different forms. One is Prakasha Vigraha and one is Vilas Vigraha. Then, so that's four. Then fifth, Tat Shakti. Shakti. Who's Shakti? Shakti is referring to one way Srimati Radharani, right? She is the Shakti of the Lord. But here he says Shakti also includes like the Lakshmis in Vaikuntha, right? In Vaikuntha, Narayan is served by thousands of Lakshmis. So one way is offering obeisance to all the Lakshmis, right? So that's also in the category of Tat Shakti. Then the queens of Dwarka, they are also in the category of Shakti, and all the gopis of Vrindavan. The best of whom is Srimati Radharani. So all the way up to Srimati Radharani. So all these are actually Shakti. The gopis of Vrindavan, the queens of Dwarka, and the Lakshmis in Vaikuntha, all those come in the category of Tat Shakti. Alright? And then the last category is Krishna Chaitanya Samgyakam. Isham Krishna Chaitanya Samgyakam means name. That Lord, so basically here, he is actually offering obeisances to Lord Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with the expansions, all the energies of the Lord. So Guru, Isha Bhakta, Isha Avatara, Tat Prakasha, Tat Shakti. Right? So how we say it's always like energetic and energies. So energetic is the Lord himself and all the different energies. So one way in this first verse, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is offering obeisance to everyone. The Lord Krishna himself and all his expansions. Right? Guru is also expansion. We talked about Diksha, Shiksha. Devotees also, right? One way expansions. Isha Avatar, and then Tat Prakasham, Tat Shakti, Krishna Chaitanya Samgyakam. Right? So Prabhupada in the purport, he says Isha Bhakt. So for Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, he actually says Isha Bhaktan refers to devotees like Srivas and all other followers. Isha Avatar refers to acharyas like Advaita Acharya. Tat Prakasham indicates a direct manifestation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Nityananda Prabhu. Right? So that's Tat Prakasham. Tat Shakti refers to Shakti. And who is that? Gadadhar Pandit. He was Srimati Radharani himself. Damodar Pandit, Jagadanand Pandit. All these are actually gopis in the category of Tat Shakti. And then Prabhupada says, these six principles are directly manifested, but all equally worshipable. All of them are equally worshipable. And hence Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is starting Chaitanya by offering obeisances to all these six aspects. Okay. And then Prabhupada concludes by saying, the external potency of Godhead, called Maya, can never associate with the Lord, just as darkness cannot remain in the presence of the Lord. Yet darkness, being an illusionary and temporary covering of light, has no existence independent of light. So basically, here he's offered obeisance to everyone. And what about Maya? Well, Maya is actually the absence of these six aspects. If you are not connected with any of these six aspects, then you are in Maya. So that's the point that Prabhupada is making. Okay. So, quick overview. I know it's technical. Please, if there's a lot to absorb in half an hour, please let me know. But what have we discussed today? We discussed the Adi Lila flow, 14 verses, Mangalacharan, expanded in 7 chapters, right? And then after that 7 chapters, then, the pastime starts from chapter 13. All, Adi Lila pastimes will start from chapter 13 onwards. So, 14 verses Mangalacharan, expanded in 7 chapters. What is the components of Mangalacharan? There's Namaskar, offering obeisances, and that's the verse we discussed today. And then second, Vastu Nirdesha, what is the objective of the book? And then third is giving Ashirvad, blessing the readers of Chaitanya Charitamrita, invoking the benediction of the Lord. Right? So these 3 are components of Mangalacharan. Right? Now, after that, coming to today's verse, one day offer obeisances to Guru, spiritual masters, Diksha, Shiksha Guru, Isha Bhaktan, devotees of the Lord, the pure devotees in the category of Siddha, Nitya Siddha, and Sadhakas, then Isha Avatar, the incarnations of the Lord, Tat Prakasham, the direct expansions of the Lord, Tat Shakti, gopis, the queens of Vrindavan, the Lakshmis, Krishna Chaitanya, and offering obeisance to Lord Krishna himself. Okay. So I'll stop here. Let's see if anyone has any questions. I hope the point about Shiksha and Diksha Guru It's like beautiful verses to actually understand Shiksha and Diksha Guru in this chapter. But I hope the way I explained was okay. Yes, the mother.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This is Nikunja Vilasini.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Prabhu, could you please clarify what exactly is Chaitya Guru?
Chaitya Guru is the Paramatma in the heart. Right? The Paramatma in the heart helps us progress in our spiritual life. Right? So, see, if you see in Bhagavad Gita, see, Paramatma is seated right next to us, right? But why can't we hear the Paramatma? The Paramatma wants to give us instructions how we can go back home, back to God. He wants to give instructions. Okay, do this. This will help you in your spiritual life. But why can't we hear? Because our mind is so active. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, in 6th chapter, in text number 6, he says, what is it? Prasannat, I'm forgetting in Sanskrit. It says Jitatmanah. Jitatmanah. Yeah, Jitatmanah Prasanta. That basically it says, when can you hear the super soul? When the mind is controlled. So the Paramatma in the heart is actually waiting to give us instruction, but because the mind is so active, we cannot hear. But as we progress in bhakti, our mind becomes more and more peaceful, and then we can hear the Paramatma give instruction. It's so interesting that if you hear Prabhupada, there's a few conversations where, like once a reporter came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, where do you get your money from? you know. So anyway, so Prabhupada said, Krishna gives it to us. Krishna gives it to us. And then also like there was another reporter who said like, how do you select who are your leaders in your movement? Krishna tells me. It is the Paramatma in the heart as Chaitya Guru is directly. You can communicate with the Paramatma. But for us, our mind has to become peaceful, our mind has to be controlled. So when the Paramatma gives us instruction, that is a Chaitya Guru from within. And then the same Paramatma manifests externally as Shiksha Guru.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the clarification. Yes, that helps. Thank you.
Yes, Deepshika Mata.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the class today. Prabhuji, how would you identify if it's the Chaitya Guru or still your mind tricking you?
Well, you have to see how is your mind. Are you under control of your mind, or is the mind under your control?
Prabhuji,
So
I mean, at the beginning, definitely we know it's the mind, but when you are like in that middle stage, right, it becomes
yeah,
tricky. I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be tricky to know whether it's the
yes,
Paramatma or
yes,
is it still
yes.
the mind?
Yeah. So the point there is, see, as we progress in bhakti, we will get inspirations. All of a sudden we get inspiration. Oh, maybe I should offer this seva. Oh, this opportunity there, let me go and help. And all that inspiration, where is coming from? One way we can say is the Paramatma who is actually giving us. So it's not that we have to become completely pure to get completely in contact, but the Paramatma is still giving us instructions as we progress in bhakti. But how do we know whether it's our mind or whether it's Paramatma? Well, one way, like if that inspiration is directly in line with what we are reading in our shastras, it is in line with what sadhus are saying, so we have
Mm.
guru sadhu shastra. If it's in line with all this, then we know for sure that this is an inspiration that's taking me closer to Krishna. I
Mm.
mean, if while
Okay.
practicing bhakti, like we get something that, oh, I'm inspired that I should, go to a bar and do harinam. Then you may say like, well, I don't know whether that's Paramatma speaking or maybe some of my previous habits is pulling me back. So we have to
Mm.
be careful to see also, and there's always devotees to consult with. So if you get an inspiration, you can always consult with some devotees and say like, oh, I felt this seva, is this a lot for me? Is this in line with bhakti? And you can always consult, but that point is nice that you said that it's not that when our mind is completely controlled, then Paramatma speaks to us. As we progress in bhakti, as our mind is cheto darpana marjanam slowly happening, and as it is happening, to that extent we'll be able to hear Paramatma speak to us. Is that okay? So it's
Yes,
amazing that
Prabhuji.
how Krishna in the heart is actually guiding us in our spiritual life. I mean, sometimes it could just happen that we just go to the airport and all of a sudden it's not planned and we meet some devotees, and devotees, like, we just talk to a devotee and we get so much inspiration. And who arranged all this?
Mm.
Paramatma in the heart is arranging all this for us to progress in bhakti. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one more question.
Yeah.
So, Prabhuji, about the Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru, right? So,
Yes.
is it always the case that we have to have two separate individuals, or you can
No.
have the
Well,
Shiksha Guru only as a Diksha Guru?
yeah. See, normally it is said like, when you're progressing bhakti, initially like we come with contact with devotee who gives us instructions, right? Instructions, and then you start practicing bhakti, following the instructions of that. And our shastras actually make the point that the prominent Shiksha Guru becomes your Diksha Guru.
Hmm.
So one way, like, many times the Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru could be the same person. But it's very interesting that in our line, if you see, so Prabhupada's Diksha Guru is Bhakti Sansvi Thakur. Bhakti Sansvi Thakur Diksha Guru is Gaur Kishore Brother. But after that, if you see in next few acharyas, the ones you see on our altar is actually Shiksha Gurus, not Diksha Gurus. So it is interesting that that one way our line is focusing more on shiksha, because it is a shiksha which is actually taking us closer to Krishna. But again, the point is our prominent shiksha guru actually becomes our diksha guru. So that's technically how it is. Now, one thing also in our ISKCON society, how it is established, that Prabhupada is the Param Shiksha Guru for everyone. We are all under the umbrella of Prabhupada, right? And then his disciples who are giving initiation, then we can select one of them as our Diksha Guru. So, is that okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so it's 9:34. Vrindavan Vilas Mataji, you have a question?
Babaji, I just wanted to comment on Deepshikha Mataji's first question, that when it is coming from the Chaitya Guru Paramatma, it will be brief, but it will be very, very loud. You will not be able to ignore it. But if it is your mind, that will not be that loud. Hare Krishna.
Mili Mataji, you had a question?
I just had a question about the Dipshika Mataji's first question as well. So like when there's like questions arising about like bhakti, and our Chaitya Guru knows what questions we have, and then when we're watching like lectures or anything like that, or like through devotees, all the questions get answered. So is that the Chaitya Guru, like in a way?
Yeah, one way,
giving-
yes, you can say like, we have questions in our heart, and like all of a sudden you just select the lecture on YouTube, and all of a sudden it's like exactly what you need to hear. So yes, you can say like that's the Paramatma in the heart, like kind of arranging so that we can, get our answers properly. So yes, we can say that also.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so thank you all so much. So we'll stop here. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Shri Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we'll continue tomorrow with text number 2 of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So our goal should be by the end of 14 verses of 14 Mangalacharan verses, we should memorize all 14 Mangalacharan verses. Right? So it will be very nice to memorize these 14 verses. Okay. So thank you all so much. So see you all tomorrow at 9 p.m. हरे कृष्ण वंशकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः. Thank you all so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Babaji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.